Florida man standing in his sunroof while driving his Cadillac down I-4.
What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do when they come for you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And it is Sunday night, which means it's the Welcome to Florida live stream where we talk about all kinds of crazy things about the state of Florida, the state that my family has been in since 1565. So, without further ado, and to bring up all my panel members for tonight, we've got, of course, Fat Steven, we've got Culture, and Steve Kenobi is joining us. How you fellas doing?
Very well.
Quite well.
I'm still fat, but I'm pleasantly happy.
Pleasantly happy? Well, that's good. That's good, because I keep staring at that. I want that cupcake. I really do.
Oh, you want the cupcake?
I do.
It's like I'm going to cheese it like a nugget. That's what I'm going to do.
Hello, Amanda.
Hi, I'm so sorry. It's been one of those days for me. My apologies.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Wait.
We are
Did
just
Amanda
glad
do
you're here.
nice things to her hair? Because it looks on par with Culture's prettiness with hair.
And this is like the nice hair show.
I brushed it.
It looked pretty.
Congratulations for handling the hairbrush so well. Bravo.
Oh.
Sounds like a stroke of genius.
Yeah, it was a stroke of genius.
It just came to me.
She didn't have to just scalp anybody to get here.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
And if I'm going to scalp anybody, sorry, Culture, it's you, because you have the most gorgeous hair on the face of the planet.
I'm stroking to butt kissing in 30 seconds.
Okay, well, with that, we're going to go
muted.
acknowledge the chat.
Culture, you're
Who's muted? Oh, Culture, you're muted.
I was going to say lovely things. I was going to say if anybody has lovely hair, it's Lorena. It always looks perfect. She gets on her stream and her hair is perfect.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I didn't do my brows earlier, and I'm looking at the camera. I'm like, why does my face look off? Ah, shoot.
I'm going to cut mine off.
Are you going to have a buzz cut?
Yeah, I always do that. Now it's, Attack of the Clones Kenobi length.
Oh, wow.
I'm just going to, I just use a buzz cutter because, I'm a cheap bastard.
Well, hey.
I need a haircut. Haven't had one in 2 years.
I know some folks who just, sharpen up a blade and just do it Vin Diesel style from it's Black. That's a hot ass scene in a movie, though, when Vin Diesel does that.
Yeah.
Well, Vin Diesel's hot in general, even with the shiny eyes, right? I put out
know.
It just makes me.
I know.
Screw Fast and the Furious or Fat and the Furious. I just want Pitch Black because if it turns off the lights, he never has to see me.
Pitch Black is an excellent date movie. I'm just throwing that out there.
It is. Because they grab onto you, right, when they get to the scary parts. That's why I like horror films. It's so good.
Amanda's like, I don't know.
No. I don't want a guy grabbing onto me because of the scary parts. And
why would I grab onto you? The girl grabs onto me. What
I'm the girl who sits there in the middle of the horror movie going, get it!
Why are you inserting yourself into my dates? What is going on here?
Gracious. All right.
It's okay to grab boobs if you pretend to be frightened.
It's like dateception here.
Depends on how good looking you are.
Well, it's dark. So.
Well, then I'm out loud.
But isn't it a symbol? Like if they grab your arm during a movie, it's as a sign that they like you. Is that isn't that one of the tells in a way? Don't laugh. I heard that snort. I heard that.
Thought you could protect them.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that alone. I would kind of use that with other evidence.
Well, I had one lady grab my arm at the cinema, and it was to move my hand away from the popcorn. Sadly.
Oh.
Steve just gave a prime example. That's why I say you got to put it in context with everything else. But
thanks for shooting me down.
Let us welcome our awesome tip. There are 36 of you folks, you amazing folks watching the show. So welcome to the Welcome to Florida stream. And I'm going to go through the chat here to say hello to you guys, because without the chat, you guys, we really wouldn't have much of a show and we'd be talking amongst ourselves and that'd be kind of boring, except for Steve making puns and everything. We all laugh. So we have Butt Crack Media, who is a member. Thank you so very much, Butt Crack Media. And also the John Beck, who is a new channel member. If you are members of my channel, please do check out the posts that I've been making lately with my planning for my trip to Universal Studios Orlando in either June or July. Somewhere around that date. All I know is the Velocicoaster roller coaster will be open. So your girl's excited about that.
I would love to say that when we welcome our members, is the best welcome to start to welcome members when you go, hey, butt crack. That was literally the best way to say, hey, let's say hi to our members. That's literally the first thing.
Hey, butt crack. Yeah, that was going to be clipped. But welcome. And if you are a Mediano Mafia member, I just dropped a 30-minute video explaining the different hotels at Universal Studios Orlando, why, if you're going to Universal Studios, you definitely should stay on site, and the different resort levels that they have there. So please do go and check that out. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow, another channel member, says hello and howdy. Well, hello and howdy to you. And the great one is here. He says, I'm sorry if I misgendered you. I'm going to explain it up front. Mandatory sensitivity training, but I am also always sensitive. You blank, blank, blank. Good evening, all. Good evening to you too. Okay, I can't look at the private chat. Snortopoopus Q Burr. Hello, humans and other critters, even the insensitive ones. Well, thank you so much. Very good. Very good. I like that way of thinking. Griffin Turbo says, hey, yo, everyone. Well, hello to you, Griffin Turbo. Glad you're here with us. Fat Steven is welcoming the chat. Slacker2386 says hello and waving. Well, hello to you too. I don't think that I've seen you in my chat before, so welcome. No legs to stand on. Apparently, you don't mess with the Florida Easter Bunny. No, you don't mess with anybody in a bunny outfit in Orlando, and it's like late. They've probably been working all day, and they have a low tolerance for BS. But just search on YouTube for that video. Bunny beatdown in Orlando. Yeah, it was viral. Something to watch. S. Singh, I hope I said that right. I apologize if I said your name wrong. First time watching a Reina stream. Hey, everyone. Well, hello to you, and thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and hope you enjoy the show. Wendy Vega says, hi, Lorena. Hello to you, too.
You have a new member.
And thank you, Snortopoopus Q Burr, for becoming a channel member. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the support that way. Yeah. Amazing. So love you guys. Every bit of support helps. Definitely. And let's see, we have Parrot Head. Hello. Sends me cool memes. 3/5 people with great hair.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that's
Amanda's muted. She didn't know she was muted.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. El Punk Trace says, hey, amigas and amigos. Thank you so much, El Punk Trace, for being here and, of course, being a channel member. And Dadman Walking 55, another channel member. I think wrong with being a cheap bastard. Well, I remember when I was in college and broke, we had no choice but to be cheap. Yeah, I think in that case it's okay. It's okay. It's kind of understandable.
Putting yourself.
All I can hear is the licking. All I can hear is the dog's tongue. It's hilarious.
I know, it's so great.
Go to town, doggy. Go to town.
Yeah, been attacked.
Hey, Josiah RTR says, hey, everyone. Well, hey, Josiah, glad you're here with us. Brett Cohen says, good day, folks. Well, good day to you, too, from all the way down under. I think it's tomorrow morning where you guys are, right? I have to get my time zones together. The Islington girl, hello, my dear, says, let's go to Florida, LOL. Yes, indeed. Florida, the Australia of America. The whole state is trying to kill you. Literally, it is. I will be leaving once Andrew's Twitch stream starts. No worries. Spread the fandom love.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We're family. Yeah, we share family around.
And hello, Shadzar. No, hello to you, the Reina Culture, Stephen et al. Well, hello, and glad you're here. And thank you so much, Tommy, mod extraordinaire. I swear he like clowns himself. He is like the mod. Just make sure to share the stream and get spicy with that like button. Thank you so much.
There's a lot to the Guinea Pig Collective. There are a lot of them.
Yes.
They're everywhere.
Feed them carrots and do not get on their bad side. Just advice.
I've heard their arch nemesis is Richard Gere, but I have to do more research first. I was being polite.
Yes, you were.
Why did you make him the butt of that joke?
I wasn't the butt of the joke. I think Buttcraft was just. Next, check please. Check please.
Hello,
those guinea pigs will have tunnel vision, you know.
And you're still monetized, right?
I hope so. I hope so. Long as I still get recommended, whatever. Hey, Soul Assassin, glad to see you are here with us. I'm in Florida. Come get me out. Yes, doggo.
Right.
Last time I was here, there were drug addicts and storm drains and folks getting knocked out in the pool. Where do we go from here? We always one up with every show.
Every show is just car crash.
Can we use that as an intro and then have the Twilight Zone door open, but it goes towards the villages?
I like that idea. Yes, we freaking need that.
I will print screen it and save it.
We need that. Hello, Snail Messiah. Hi, all you next people. I hope you're doing amazing. Sorry I'm late. I was rewatching Lorena's DS9 season 1 stream. That was definitely a fun stream that we did with Robert Byron Burnett. And we talked about season 1 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Looking forward to doing another one really soon. I just have to get some dates confirmed for season 2. So start watching now.
And I'll also reach out to Nick again, just in case, since he missed the last time, if he wants to join us again.
Okay, awesome. Crispy Critters, hello. My cat has me trapped in my room. Yes, she's from Florida. Yeah, that's kind of like one of mine, Professor X, the tabby. If I go in the bathroom, not only does he sit outside the door, but he likes to put his butt upside the door, so it's hard for me to open the door to get out.
Yeah. Oh, you close your door? Because I don't.
Well, yeah, I do. No, but I do not need pets. I don't want anybody bothering me. I lock the door. I don't care how much they cry.
You have to crack it open.
If I don't get the door open, I get paws clawing at the door. So we just leave it open.
Florida equal Australia. No, that is Georgia. Get the prison colony straight. You know what? Interesting thing here in Dad Man Walking. I don't know if you know this, but one of my ancestors actually escaped from Georgia to Spanish Florida because he killed a man, and there was a warrant out for him. So the British sent their convicts to the 13 original colonies, but you know what? 2 other colonies were British around the time of the Revolution, East and West Florida. And Florida got prisoners from Spain, England, France, South America, Caribbean.
Wow.
Explains a lot. Yeah, the whole world is responsible for Florida, man. I keep explaining that.
That's true.
But that was a good point, so I could bring up my Georgia convict who escaped.
Well, hey, Dad Man Walking is in Florida.
Yes, he is. Yeah. And thank you, Crispy Critters, for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Keep Florida safe. Give it back to Spain. Man, Spain didn't even freaking want it.
No
joke. I'm reading. I got a couple of history papers from the University of Florida, researching my family. Apparently, when Spain signed the treaty with the United States to buy Florida, they only signed over the land that wasn't inhabited. If you had land in Florida when Spain occupied it, as soon as Spain left, you were SOL. Guess what? You had to fight with the United States government to prove you had a legitimate claim to that land. Yes. And I have ancestors that fought for years in court cases up to the Supreme Court to get their land claim. So yeah, Spain was like, deuces, F you people.
I have a quick service announcement to the chat as well as everyone watching. 50 people in the chat. You can either smash the like or the dislike, hit that sub. And remember, Reina is 60 away from that pom-pom cheerleader stream where I will be fired live. So tune in, sub today.
Yeah, I'm real close. Hey, Zachariah 315, and looking forward to doing that for you guys, actually. No joke, seriously. This is Howdy Lorena Creole panel and chat. Well, hello, Zachariah 315. Glad you are here. And let's see, there is Project Storytime is here. Commander Ed Stracker of Shadow. Gratuitous shout out to Drunk 3PO in his honor. This is a pants optional live stream.
It is?
Yeah, so I heard.
I'm wearing pants.
That's I heard. That's what I heard. Tommy is starting to fight, man. Cares what it's. You wrong, Tommy.
I'm out.
You wrong for that. You so wrong for that. I think Steve's sharpening the knife right now. Hey, awesome one says Ryan Kennel, Drunk, and Lorena and Steven all on 2 screens. Well, thank you so much for watching both streams, dude. Thanks for the support. I appreciate that. I don't mind sharing. That way. Let's see. I think we have actually Denmark low-key used America as a prison colony. We're smart like that. Oh, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, Florida was, like a great place to park prisoners.
Yes.
Park
all over the world. Park them. Yeah. Yeah. You want to get sort of some troublemakers? Send them to Florida. Nobody wants to hear from them again. Send them there.
So that's why we keep sending Quebecers down there. Now I understand.
Quebecers.
It's like, go there. Where are you going to go? It's like the coast is where the Spanish government is. The interior is where the Native Americans are, and further west is where the French are. You're pretty much stuck. Let's see. Thank you so much, Miss Teresa, for being here. I so appreciate that. My wife's family has land out near Disney. One day she will inherit it. Good. Hold on to it. 2000. I will put that on there. I claim Kissimmee. Kissimmee is an interesting place. It's an interesting place with lots of weird looking gift shops. And
Northeast Kissimmee.
Yeah. The tourist part, not the part that looks like Grand Theft Auto Liberty City. Not that part. Florida Snorter Poopas Cuber says Florida is another reason to take Andrew Jackson off the $20 bill. It should have a polar bear on it. I agree, because Andrew Jackson made my family's life in the Florida territory living hell for years. So he had a nasty habit of stealing people's, not that they were all enslaved, but stealing people's slaves and driving the Indians off their land and then shipping them off to on the Trail of Tears. Yeah, Andrew Jackson's not liked very well in Florida. Or Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach is awesome. Cocoa Beach is amazing. Cocoa Beach is wonderful.
Closer to NASA, not south.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to have to do a show one day on where not to go in certain areas. Probably next week when we talk about Daytona Beach. That's the first one that's up, because Teresa's going to join us for that.
Awesome.
Hi, Ion. Better late than never. Hello, Lorena and all. Well, hello. Glad to see you too. I don't think I've seen you on my stream before, so thank you so much for being here. And with that, I think. Let's see. I call the part of Florida where I live far South Ontario.
Wow.
Dang.
What the?
Okay.
What? Wait, what? No.
I dream of GD. Did we? Okay, I think we missed a joke. Is that for the show? That's right. Cocoa Beach is where Jeannie lives. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because he was in a flag list.
He was in the space program. That is an awesome day trip to take. Go out to the NASA Visitor Center out in the Cocoa Beach. That is That is an awesome place to visit.
Yeah, take the drive, check it out, spend the whole day there. They have 2 or 3 great IMAX presentations throughout the day. If you're lucky, you'll get to see a launch. You can actually plan your time around a launch. You have Dragon rockets that will take off from there occasionally. There's all kinds of really cool stuff to do. You can hang out with the space shuttle, which is also awesome. They literally have a space shuttle hanging from the ceiling, so that you can check the whole thing out. Very cool. Of course, Lorena actually got to walk through a space shuttle when she was...
Yeah, I did. And one day I was driving and I'm like, what is that big, huge white thing that they're hauling away? And it was one of the solid rocket boosters that they had strapped onto a flatbed truck. So they were moving it out to the visitor center. So that was a cool thing to do. We'll have to have a stream about visiting NASA and all of that, because it is a cool side trip to take.
I'll wear all my NASA gear that day. It'll be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why am I picturing?
Why are you pitching what?
No, you're greeting Demogeny first.
Oh, hey, Demogeny, says Lorena Creole. Hello, beautiful. How are you in the panel? Well, we are quite well. And thank you, Demogeny, for dropping in. Demogeny, one of the kings on the Dark Council. Their shows are Tuesday around 8:30-ish. Hang out with the chat for the pre-show before they come on. It's all good.
Yeah, waiting in the chat is just fire. So yeah, you'll be entertained for sure.
Absolutely. Science Demogeny. We got Seminoles forced to go to Oklahoma out of Florida. Trail of Tears. Yeah, some went. The ones that didn't want to resist, they went. And then there are the ones who stayed and fought, like Osceola. So I shall well know. Okay, I think we have they'll come, but definitely please do hit that like button. I appreciate that. Yes, Commander at Tracker Shadow says Culture Casino. I agree. If you go to Disney World, you have to take a day trip to the Kennedy Space Center.
Totally worth it.
Yes. And once you take that trip to the Kennedy Space Center, drive north on A1A for a little bit too. Amazing drive. North A1A. South, you won't get exactly the same view. North on A1A, you get to see all the beach. It's like driving on PCH in California.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that area is amazing. Yeah. And actually A1A, when you get down towards oh my gosh. My brain just turned off. Keep going.
Words are hard.
It's okay. It's okay.
Come on.
It's okay. Let's see. Last one before we to our Florida stuff. S. Singh says Saturn V back up in the hangar and Rocket Gardens is awesome.
The Rocket
Yes.
You're like,
what is that?
All the rockets, like all the old rockets. Saturn V rockets. What were the other? I just know the Saturn V because that one's like a big ass rocket. And then they have the other rockets from the various stages of the space program. They're all out there. It's so cool.
Yeah, walking around those make you realize how small you are.
Yes, very.
I'm pretty big.
And just how much power it took to just to fire Ghettos to work.
Yeah.
Because I remember in physics class, they taught us, they said most of the power that they have to use with those rockets is to escape Earth's gravity. Once you get out of there, you're golden. But it's just like all that power you need to escape gravity. Went last time I visited in Florida. I'm in the UK and it doesn't look like I'll be coming stateside anytime soon. I really hope that they get that cleared up because I'm so used to seeing so many visitors from the UK over my years of being in Florida. It was like visitors from the UK, visitors from Canada, and visitors from Brazil. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah,
A1A only in Miami, not the part we're talking about.
Can I test something quickly? Culture, the Rocket Gardens.
Yeah.
How excited do you get?
It's
because
awesome.
You start smiling. Look, because you start smiling like a little kid. That's why I like it. If you notice that,
you don't understand. I mean, these things, these put people into space. They're amazing. They're amazing creations of man. Man did amazing things, and then we're not doing that stuff.
I'm
right
not mocking you. I find it
Oh, I-
hilariously fun, man. That you just got all this cheerful glee like you're at Christmas.
Hey, Mr. Londell's Groovy Moody's, Mercury Redstone. Yeah, it's because the thing with NASA is before Disney happened, Florida had the space program, at least that portion of the space program. So that was the manned space flight, where they were launching everything from. And it was a big deal at the time. And it put that part of Florida, on the map. So it is definitely worth checking out. A1A is a beautiful drive, not like US 17. Yeah, US 17 is a freaking drag. I've been on there many times. Thank you, Demonjanai, for the $2 super chat. So show starts tentatively at 8:30. LOL, not my fault. No, it's usually Abu's fault, from what I understand. But it's all good. You know what? We get there and we hang out with each other, just waiting for you guys to show up. We're not going anywhere. We're just joking about and taking bets on how long it's going to take y'all to start the show. But you know what? We really wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah,
we really
it's all,
wouldn't.
the chat's always
We
on
really
fire.
wouldn't.
They always.
Mhm. Hello, Butt Crack Media. Thank you so very much. And Tommy, you ain't right. You so not right. Stunning and brave Megatron. Good evening, everybody. Well, good evening to you. And I love that halter top. Absolutely. Well, folks, we have got 52 people watching. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And let's see. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to start out with here, but we'll just skim over this one briefly. This serves as your PSA that it is mid-April and it is officially mating season for alligators in Florida. So check underneath your car, even more so than usual, because they're more aggressive than usual. So yeah, this actually happened. This actually happened. 10-foot alligator found underneath car in Tampa.
Yep.
So it's the beginning of alligator mating season, which means more gator sightings in Florida. Such was the case on March 13th when a resident of a Tampa apartment complex called the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office to report an alligator under a parked car. Now, this is how you're supposed to handle these types of things. You see a gator, don't approach it, don't try to talk to it, don't try to pet it, don't throw food at it. Call the sheriff's office. Okay. They have people who were trained to come there and handle this stuff, or a subcontractor that they call to come down there and just wrangle the gator. All you got to do is just call, go in the house and wait. And then when they come there, get some popcorn and watch the show. For them trying to wrangle this gator, that's part of the fun. Watching the professionals grab this gator. So pretty much what they do is that, they get the gator, they tape them up, and they take them off someplace nice, and release them back in a while. This is just when you get a new car.
It is.
Oh, for some people. Yeah. Yep, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Store to Poopus Q-Bird. Good news. No one tried to steal the car. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I really can't see gators were spending their time in Liberty City trying to steal cars. Oh my gosh. Yes, they do. Gators rarely bother anyone. They don't. No. When I worked at NASA, I'd see them hanging out, in the drainage ditches and all of that. And true story, before any shuttle launch, they'd have the game wardens go there and chase the alligators out of as many ditches as possible, because after the launch of the space shuttle, they were finding some that were kind of fried. You kind of got in there. So they kind of try to get as many of them out there as possible, but they really don't bother you. No. And if you approach them and they don't want you around, they hiss at you very...
They let you know. You will hear them. You will know that they're there and they don't want you there.
Mm-hmm. They're very respectable reptiles. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit your golf ball close to them, that's a free drop.
There you go.
Free drop.
Is it true that if it's under your car, just kick the tire? This comes from the knowledge base of Drunk 3PO from Josiah.
See, this is how I know Drunk 3PO is not a native Floridian.
No.
Kick the
you have
tire,
two-
lose a foot.
No, you have two people who do something. You either have the people who go, I've watched plenty of history or Animal Planet, I can get it. And then you have the people who call Florida Wildlife Fish and Game. Those are your two people.
Exactly. Oh, a third person, the ones who have watched Cops, all the episodes where they get called out there to wrangle gators, and no, they are not nothing to mess with. All you hear is watch the tail, watch the tail. Deranged lunatic, aka DL. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Steve would probably try to ride the damn thing.
Steve?
No, I would not.
I think he mixed me and Kenobi up. I'm grabbing it by the tail and jumping on it. No, I'm not.
Steve, this is not your idea of a fun do-back ride, then?
No, I do not like crocodiles and alligators.
Okay. Well, you're
Not
smart, man.
going near them.
What if your power animal is Steve Irwin? Do you still call the cops? Yeah, you still call the cops.
That's after you run around screaming, "Crikey!"
Mr. Londell's Groovy Boobies, have they ever considered importing some Cajuns? Watching Swamp People, I think they know how to handle them. Also, they have a lot of guys who are Seminoles, and they'll wrangle them too. Florida Crackers, they'll wrangle them too. Yeah. People, it all comes from experience. People who had to work out there, like my grandfather was telling me stories how, they were out there cutting sugar cane. They had machetes specifically to protect themselves, machetes and shotguns to protect themselves in case they ran up against any snakes and alligators.
What about lawyers?
Probably that too. Did somebody say fried gator?
You use those to catch the alligator.
Did they say fried? Somebody said fried gator.
Yeah.
Maybe a pay-per-view.
Is it true that there's actually gator nuggets? I'm not fighting a gator. No, if you want to watch a live gator wrestle someone, you go watch Impractical Jokers in that episode.
Oh, that is true. Fried gator nuggets. Yeah.
I saw someone post that like this week, and I was like, those actually look tasty. And then they said gator nuggets, and I was turned off.
They are. There is a restaurant in Palatka, Florida, my mom's hometown, a little riverfront restaurant which has great fresh seafood called Corky Bells. And they sell, if they have it available, fried alligator.
What do you use as a dipping sauce for those, though? And what's the texture like?
Anything that's there. Barbecue sauce, hot sauce.
Probably
sauce. Yep.
Yeah, you put a little crystal on it, solve the whole problem.
Yeah.
No, but what's the texture like, though?
Chicken and
of the
cat
meats.
Dad man walking.
Yep, Corky Bell. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, the texture fat, Stephen, is like a mixture between but you guys don't have catfish up there. I'd say codfish and chicken. Do you?
You have catfish up here.
Okay, I don't know.
You could dip it in guacamole.
A little bit of alligator cilantro.
Oh, if you're ever stuck in Palatka, I shouldn't say stuck, but yeah, or passing through Corky Bells. Corky Bells is a great restaurant. It's great. How would
you pass through Palatka? I mean, how would you go about doing that?
Pass through. Crawl up. Depending on which way you're coming.
Where would you have had to have been coming from and going to? I'm trying to think.
Probably near who is it? Denison, the fern capital, crawling up 17.
Mm-hmm.
Before you hit the St. Johns River, you're gonna run into Palatka. And then you go over there. If you're from Jacksonville and going south on 17, after you no longer see the lights of civilization, eventually you'll run into Palatka.
All right.
Ever notice, when there's videos of people being stupid around gators, it's always white people.
That's what I've seen.
It is.
At least in the news. Or more specifically, snowbirds.
I was trained.
Snowbirds.
And I got bit.
I would say snowbirds.
It's like I learned my lesson. It only took 4 fingers to get bitten off. But I finally learned my lesson.
So, yeah. Respect the gators. They'll respect you. Yeah. So speaking of Brevard County, because we were talking about Cocoa Beach.
Is that Tom Hanks?
No.
It looks like Tom Hanks.
No. Nah, what? He looks more like what was it? Gary Busey, I think.
No, Gary Busey's head's a lot bigger.
I think it's
Lot
Looks
bigger.
like John Cena on crack.
Back at work, they can see me.
I gotta go with Sting on that one. Yeah.
Oh, wait, if you give him like one of the cork pipes and the white sailor suit, it's Popeye on crack. So it's pretty much both.
Oh my goodness. Yes, they do. Look at this character.
He looks happy for a prison photo.
When they say a picture says 1,000 words,
This
whoa.
one does right here. So it says Brevard County motorcyclist. Brevard County, that's actually where NASA is, driving 100 miles per hour, claims he is trained to drive like that.
That's a
I
face
will
only a
remember
mother
that
would.
line if I'm ever late to work. I swear to God, I will.
Would you say, Stig?
That's a face only a mother would kick.
Damn. Thank you, Crispy Critters, for the $2 super chat. In Florida, food eats you. Yes, the state is trying to kill you, and the wildlife is trying to eat you.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got gators on land and sharks in the ocean.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. Yes, they do. Gators make very nice handbags and shoes
And belt.
and belts.
Mhm.
They do.
And nuggets.
Kevin Taylor, Sweet Pea needs to bail Popeye out.
It is Popeye. Is there a link to this? I want to see his face.
Oh God, this is the booking image right here.
Oh,
No,
yeah, I want that booking image. I want that's what
just go,
Popeye.
just go to Facebook or just go to the Brevard County website and look up all the mug shots. Dash Desi for $5 Canadian. Thank you so very much. That's the look Rob from Midnight's Edge made when he found out about the female Indiana Jones.
He was a little upset. Did you watch? That was amazing.
I didn't watch it. I can picture it if it's only a quarter of how aggravated I am. But tune into Toxic Femininity on a Monday night to find out more about what the ladies think about that travesty of casting.
Are you sure he didn't confuse it with In Diana Jones?
Oh,
That's a different movie entirely.
I'm glad we're past 30 minutes. Just wink when they take your mugshot. But yeah, so Charles Thomas is charged with reckless driving. So Brevard County man riding his motorcycle at more than 100 miles per hour while weaving in and out of traffic told deputies his need for speed was okay because he was trained to drive like that, according to his arrest. Was he watching Top Gun?
I don't know, but I don't know. Wow.
Oh my gosh, Chuck Finley, does his teeth pop out?
Maybe.
It's an accessory. When it gets his action figure, the teeth actually will come out and then go back in.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Brevard County deputies say they spotted Charles Thomas, 65, of Malabar on his motorcycle Wednesday, traveling around 10 a.m. on speeds over 100 miles per hour on US 1. Okay, for folks who don't know, US 1 is like the business route in a lot of places. So your speed limit's like 45 to 55 at the highest.
Well, it depends. I mean, when you come up on a town, yeah, it slows down. When you're a little past the town, it goes up. Yeah.
But usually that's what they stick you at. So, Lord, this dude was freaking fuzzbait. Do not remember him from Top Gun. Was his call sign Popeye?
It was Popeye.
You have felony speeding, right? So, man.
Breathe.
Oh, God. Brevard is south of I-4, so they don't have sweet tea. So I call that area South New York. Florida disavows and not associated with that picture. Oh my gosh. This is, this guy. This dude, oh no, you didn't. Keeps toothpicks handy to flip love bugs out of his teeth.
Oh,
Oh, it'll be love bug season next month.
Oh, no. Still have night terrors of those things.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We'll talk about love bugs later on. Dude just wants to be like the astronauts riding a crotch rocket. Does he have a crotch rocket, Garth? I tell you, these stories just show up. I don't even have to freaking search. Call sign is old meth mouth.
Spinach chain.
That's rough.
Spinach king. Dang. So if you think Florida man is bad. So wait a minute. Brett Cohen says, so does Florida have a similar saying to us, prettier than a bucket of mashed crabs? I have not heard that one before. Probably do. Although I've heard one used for a woman who said, she looks like she fell out of an ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Yeah. And the squirrel grabbed the stick and then beat her with it.
It's worse though. There's actually, if you're falling out of the ugly tree and the tree actually moves out of the way, you ugly. You damn ugly.
Whiskey.
If the tree literally uproots and moves out of the way, there's definitely a problem.
Oh my gosh.
Your face is telling you something.
He's a producer for Trailer Park Boys. So moving on from Florida man, we have a Florida woman from one of our favorite places, also known as the Villages. And for those of you who don't know, the Villages is a retirement community where basically old people pretend to be back in high school all over again. So this story, villager allegedly strikes husband after she claims he showed off nude photos of late wife.
What?
Villager allegedly strikes husband after she claims he showed off nude photo of late wife.
Was it? Wait. What was it? No, I'm not gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Did it take the picture from the coroner?
Was it just at the gravestone? Like, was it at the grave? This is the only way I can get rigor mortis.
I don't freaking know. 77 and still spicy. Yeah, apparently so. She was not having it. So apparently, a 77-year-old woman was arrested after she allegedly threw food at and struck her husband Thursday evening in the village of Della Vista. So they got called to the house, and her husband said apparently they had been arguing when the altercation occurred, and he attempted to get her to sit down on the couch in the living room. Apparently she wasn't having that. So it appeared Marion Maglione, I hope she's not a mob mistress, had been drinking, the report indicated. She claimed that the altercation erupted after her husband showed his friends a nude picture of his late wife. Okay, I can kind of get the anger out of that. How you just gonna do that?
You see, you open up a photo album, you pull out the picture, and you just show it. And then you get backhanded.
Maybe that's what he thought a fans only thing was. I don't know.
Where's that fans only thing that kids keep talking about?
Yeah, right.
Should it be on there?
OnlyFans is when he takes the all the nudes of his deceased wife and makes like an actual fan out of it. He starts, I gotta cool down with this OnlyFans.
Maybe he had an Instagram account.
Oh,
goodness gracious. Hello, editor MG. She's so old, Reina Creole. His nude photo was of a knee. Oh, goodness. Hey, subhuman, says sup, people. Sup, people. It's weird pondering on a group of 70-year-olds acting like this. You have no idea, the Islington girl. This story is tame compared to the stuff that usually comes out of the Villages.
It is like high school. I mean, literally, that community is high school for old people.
Mm-hmm.
They act the fool constantly.
They do. It's just like that is just the thing that they have to do there. It's crazy.
Someone
They're
needs to make a
nuts.
sitcom on about that, though.
I wish they would. I would watch that.
You call it Old Friends.
Old Friends. They're actually working on that right now. They're Old Friends.
No, they aren't. Are they?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, they're doing a reboot. There's a reason why this meme is out there.
Well, I thought that was like in reference to Geriatric Park. Welcome to Geriatric Park.
But they really are. The Villages is just something. It's something else. It's something else.
You got a heart.
Hey, Kai.
From Tickle Trunk.
Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. I love that name for a $2 Canadian super sticker. Thank you. And it is of, what is it of? Is it thumbs up?
Shibu giving the hearts.
Oh, the Shibu Inu dog. Is it the one that farts hearts? I like that one. Yeah. I call it that. They say floating hearts. I say farting golden only fans. Oh God.
Breathe.
Oh, let's see. I remember Bob's Burgers having an episode about a Florida old folks home and the crazy folks there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't mess with 70-year-olds. One time I visited Boynton Beach. This couple were running with their walkers to beat us to their diner, which we weren't going to. They are crazy.
Seinfeld kind of delved into that a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Had Jerry's parents living in Florida, I think.
Because the joke was that's where everybody's grandparents went to retire, is Florida. And they just go there and act a fool. I can't remember if I think I saw that episode. I didn't watch too much Seinfeld, but I think I saw that one. Mr. Londell's Groovy Moodies. If they act like this in Florida, just imagine how they'd act if they were where they came from. For some of them, I think they acted the same way. It's kind of weird. Old folks home where break to. Oh God. Yeah, Mr. Tickle Trunks, you're right about that. Old folks homes are like hot spots for STDs.
They are. Yeah, that's no joke. That's for real. That's for real.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's for real. We're not kidding when we say it is like high school for old people.
Yeah.
I don't want to picture prunes going at it. Ew.
Yes, Golden Girls was set in Florida. Yes, it was South Florida. Absolutely. Hey, Black Superwoman. That's exactly what they were like. Oh my goodness. Oh, 52 of you guys watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is the Welcome to Florida live stream. And yes, we are going to get to our main topic in a little bit. But just an advisory, folks. Florida weather is not something to mess with.
What is that? Whoa.
This was today at Disney. Yeah, sometimes Florida will get this kind of crazy weather all day, like in the spring. This is rain.
Yeah, it looks like sheets. Yeah, AJ is getting pounded out there. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
This is Norway, where I live.
The best part is these storms can come out of nowhere.
Yeah. And these people think they can actually tour in this weather. God bless you. But as I'm going to show you on this next one, this is why you don't go running out there. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't bad at all.
It is to us, Tommy.
You don't want to stop lightning.
No.
You don't want that.
No, you really don't.
I'm well grounded anyway, so
Well, the castle at the Magic Kingdom, that's like one big huge lightning rod.
Yep, lots of strike points on it. They're ready to go.
We had 259 lightning strikes in an hour this fall in this area, this immediate area.
Wow. 1.21 gigawatts. Yeah, I remember when I stayed at the Polynesian and we had like a theme park facing room and they had these storms like this. We were just sitting there watching all the lightning strikes that hit the Magic Kingdom. It was like it was crazy.
Do you guys want to buy some spinach?
I know.
I changed my avatar.
It looks like a small shower down here in Texas. Yes, Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies. That's a baby storm. If you're used to living there, it's a baby storm.
It's just not something to go outside and play in, though.
No, you really don't want to do that. If you're out there touring in this weather and there's lightning crackling all over the place, no, it's not that smart.
Not unless you have a metal rod, then by all means.
Yeah.
Well, you can make it easy, though. What you got to do is just somehow attach metal rods to all the alligators so they'll just get the gators and not the people.
Yes, Insta-food.
You can fry them. You can smell them burning at the stake.
You're going to wind up being like that guy in Caddyshack he didn't want to stop playing. It was lightning. You don't want to be that guy, okay? You do not freaking want to be that guy.
You can even take...
What's this up here?
It's Popeye.
Oh, the Popeye movie.
No, but look at the face.
Oh, with the guy. Oh my
With
God.
the guy, that was nice. Well done. Way to cut his face in there.
That's a good one. That's God.
I am what I am.
Awesome.
I go fast.
You could put something obscene in his left hand too.
No, thanks. I'm not doing that. I would like to keep my spot here.
Yes, Frankenstein's lab would prosper in Florida. Yes, from all the lightning strikes, he wouldn't have to wait long at all. Oh, well, folks, we have 52 people watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. So we're going to move on to the main topic of discussion. And this is courtesy of Pirates and Princesses. This is the blog site for Clownfish TV. Shout out to them. Trader Sam removed from the Jungle Cruise. So you know what? I'm gonna actually let Culture give us some information about the Jungle Cruise, exactly what it is.
Well, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
What's Trader Sam?
Trader Sam is one of the last things you encounter. It's an animatronic at the end of the attraction, and he would offer you 2 heads for one of you.
So he gives you head.
Yeah, no, he would offer you his trunk and heads at the end of the end of the ride. And there's a lot of corny jokes depending upon the skipper that you have that would go along with this. Now, again, this is one of those attractions that in California was originally conceived by the 9 old men and Walt Disney and them that created this concept and this idea, right? And it always had a corny script that went along with it. There was a little bit of vamping allowed here and there, and it was always a lot of fun. But it played on the idea of you taking a river trip or a jungle river trip and experiencing kind of a waterborne safari, for lack of a better way to put it. So in fact, this attraction is so popular that there were some films that kind of pulled from it, and it also pulled from those films. And you also have a new film being created right now. Featuring The Rock and British actress, I always forget her name, called
Emily Blunt, I think, right?
Emily Blunt, yes, thank you. Yeah, and she's in this film as well. And it looked like it was going to be a cute film, but they are revising attractions that, are inconvenient to, pay homage to. Like,
can we see that picture that you showed?
Hold on one second. Dadman Walking, thank you so much for the $25 super chat. Holy crap. Thanks for the channel update the other day. Looking forward to your upgrades and expansion. Picking on us has become one of my favorite streams each week. I look forward to it like Saturday college football in the fall. Well, thank you so much, Dadman Walking. It comes from a place of love. It really does. And all my Florida relatives who've seen the show, they just like laugh their asses off. Sometimes my sister will come in the show and I'll start telling stories. She's like, "No, tell this story, tell this particular story." So I'm glad you enjoy the show. I really do. And thanks again for the $25 super chat. And we have a $5 super chat from Mad Mardigan. How you doing? He says, "Hey everyone, wish I could join, but I've been busy working on the channel. Have fun. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'm keeping count." I hear you, dude. I hear you, dude. Keep hustling on that channel. And whenever you have a chance, you can drop in on the show. Totally got you on that.
That's fun.
Absolutely. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Pat Steven?
Oh, when you were scrolling down, you were showing the picture of the little small
Trader Sam.
Is there anybody? Can you enlarge that at all, or is that like?
I'll actually get to another.
I've never seen this attraction. That's what I was.
It's supposed to be shrunken.
This is Trader Sam. Now, I have a picture. I didn't get a chance to put up here, but I have one of him for Christmas, and he's actually decked out. He's got like Christmas wreaths and presents behind him and all of that. But this is the last person at the end of the ride where the boat ride stops at. And he's just like, here's Trader. Oh, look, it's Trader Sam. He has an offer. One of your head for two of his.
Yep.
And everybody laughs because it's corny as hell. It's corny it's really corny. But the whole Skipper Canteen cruise, sorry, that's the restaurant, which is actually a lot of fun if you go to the Skipper Canteen restaurant. That is freaking hilarious. They'll say stuff like, "Oh, I want the chicken," and they're like, yeah, it's real today. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken. Yeah, in fact, it's called that on the menu. Yeah, it tastes like
chicken.
It's really funny. It's a lot of fun. It's like, the Skippers took over a restaurant, and their menu initially was a little high level for Magic Kingdom, so they brought the level down a little bit and kept the prices the same though. But you can get some good food there, which is one of the few places you can get good food in Magic Kingdom, but it's definitely worth the reservation. So so in the middle of the day after you've done your Jungle Cruise, you can eat at Skipper Cantina.
Yeah, and there's so much theming in the restaurant. It's amazing. It's off the chain. It's definitely worth dropping in, to check out. I appreciate that. I love that restaurant. So this is an example of one of the Skippers that's on the cruise. So how the ride is before they've started putting in their quote unquote sensitivity changes and boring things. Yeah, exactly. Garbage. The Skippers are basically improv actors. And they completely go on improv. The script is extremely thin. And frankly, if you're extremely good at improv, you wind up being, on the Jungle Cruise. I think the rejects were on the Great Movie Ride because that ride was boring. The so-called tour guide that was on. I think we had one guy who sounded like he had watched a lot of Scarface movies, but I think they moved him to the Jungle Cruise because he was so good. But it's corny jokes. It's all in fun. I'm not going to run this too long so I don't get claimed.
Okay. Pick up your other paper hand. We inquired all my friends in line. I have no friends, it's fine. Welcome aboard the world famous Jungle Cruise. My name is Skipper Alexei. I'll be your skipper, your guide, your lion tamer, your hippo wrestler, and if you don't laugh at my jokes, I'll be your swimming instructor.
And that's the kind of jokes that go throughout the whole cruise. And I'll put the link to this in the description box. But if you just watch the video, this is exactly how the ride goes. It's corny jokes. This kid here gets in on the action and the skipper just interacts with them the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. Kids that are like into it, they just get into it too. And it's a lot of fun. It's never the same ride twice. Ever. It's just cheesy, outdated, fun, but the skippers are what bring, pop culture references and stuff, to it. So this ride, I want to say next to probably Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the busiest rides over in Adventureland. but unfortunately, what they want to do with it, because apparently Disney Imagineering has the equivalent of the Lucasfilm Story Group. Now they're bringing these cultural changes. So this one came from WDW News Today. They actually broke the story where they went to the Jungle Cruise ride, I believe the 5th. Trader Sam animatronic completely removed from the Jungle Cruise at Magic Kingdom as cultural sensitivity changes begin. Exactly. It's
Yeah, the removal of fun and authenticity are removed. We are beginning to remove everything that is fun, vaguely authentic, and a tradition. We're going to do that, and this is one of the changes I warned about. I think I've also warned about what's happening to Peter Pan attraction and several other things in the fantasy lands.
Mhm.
The only place you're going to be able to see true versions of these things are out of this country in the future.
It's that old meme, all the NPC people look the same.
Mhm.
It's what they're trying to do to everything. Everything's going to look, like a blank sapien. You can't have anything cultural on anything. And then what's there to see?
Well, it's a homogenization. Yeah, you're 100% right. They don't want variance, and it's one of the reasons why they're even less creative when it comes to their room redesigns. When you go to their they're homogenizing things. They're removing theming. The Disney difference is now not different at all. In fact, you get better theming now if you go to Universal in one of their rooms, especially like the Hard Rock Hotel, or there's several examples like Cabana Bay.
Even the dockside, sorry, Coach, I'm interrupting. Even the dockside inn and suites, like there's a surf side, that's all surf theme, where there's even surfboards in the hotel rooms themselves. The dockside, they've got like driftwood sculptures. I think I posted a picture of it for the members, where the lobby has a Christmas tree, and then they have these driftwood sculptures. They're actually made from real driftwood, and there's like planking like you would find on a boardwalk all throughout places in the hotel, even in your actual room.
Yep.
At a resort that only costs, I think, $80 a night.
Yeah, and it points towards a larger issue, with the way that Disney has gone, and so you're going to go back to the things that basically were causing Disney to have problems back in the 80s before it had to be rescued by a group of stockholders and Michael Eisner. Say what you will about Eisner, but he kept Disney from being purchased by an interest in Japan at the time, and he reinstituted the Disney difference. Well, we're now homogenizing things, removing things, creating exactly what Stieg was talking about, a monoculture that doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. Well, guess what? That's not the way the world works, and so for the sake of somebody who's a headhunter, I guess we're removing something that's culturally insensitive. I mean, I don't know how many headhunters are going to Disney World to ride this attraction. I'm just curious.
I don't think they pulled. They maybe found one, maybe, and I'm being generous. That's if they even looked, because I don't even think they looked. I think they're just like, oh, it might be offensive to someone, or who knows?
And I think that's what it is, because it might be, and we see this in all forms of media everywhere across the board, no matter what it is. Everybody is, picking and trying to figure out, is this okay? Is this not okay?
Yeah.
We can't be offensive to anybody.
Wrong.
Right.
And it's like,
Well,
but are you really, there's a difference between being offensive and having, something like this that didn't seem offensive to me personally. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. He's in a jungle. He's a headhunter. They're not saying, "Oh, I will get you," or they're actually trying to make them look like they're really cool people. Like, here, I'll give you 2 for one of yours. Like, hey, what's up? Stuff like that. My biggest problem with this is they remove him, the animatronic, but rumor has it that they're keeping his cafe and they're keeping his merch.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
You can't do that. You either remove or you keep.
I have a question with this though. They took him down, but did they decide to even do like a once through with like a film crew to maintain the historical state of what it was, so they can put it in the store so people can see the generations? You know how Disney used to do the old things of how the parks.
No,
so they didn't even think about recording the history of it.
No, because the only way that you're going to get the recorded history of this is going back to videos like this on YouTube. That's the only way that it's going to be.
That's not Disney, because even Disney, remember when they would do like there's reels when they're going like doing celebrations, it would go from black and white into Technicolor, and they would show like how the parks have changed. You'd at least think they would do this to maintain the historical value of how long it's been there.
No,
so they just wiped it like a statue.
These are cultural vandals now that are in charge of these companies. They are destroying them, and I mean, they're more worried about the people that they could possibly offend than the people that are offended and irritated and mad that are going to take their money to Universal because they're doing this. That's really stupid.
Exactly.
So what you're saying, there's more people offended over the fact that they're trying to wipe the history of the park rather than
it's the same thing
fixing the park, like the cardboard, like when we had the Bristol, the wood cutouts in some of the animatronic rides, they still haven't replaced, right?
Yeah. You're talking about the Three Amigos, the Three Caballeros. Excuse me. Yeah. It's frustrating because there's, for example, Splash Mountain. Is it perfect? No. Could somebody take offense to it? Sure. But do they? No. It's one of the most beloved rides. It's so beloved it was rebuilt across the entire planet multiple times. Right? So that's how much love there is for that attraction. You have a lot of love for Peter Pan. Everybody knows the story of Peter Pan. Everybody as a kid saw the film, and now we're going to put warning labels on that, and that's going to change. I'm serious, guys. Unless Disney understands just how many people they're losing as an audience, they're like, well, no, in 40 or 50 years, nobody will know the difference. No, because you won't have the fans anymore. Disney stopped creating. They also stopped innovating.
Well, they stopped imagination culture. That's what it comes down to. They no longer take a chance on making a story of quality or taking a chance on something that could just inspire imagination. And they're reverting back to we might offend anyone.
Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
They don't have to. People pay for logos.
Well,
if it has the Marvel logo or the Star Wars logo on it, people will pay for it.
Well, I think you're 100% right there, Steve. I really do.
Yeah, that's sad, though. It's sad.
I mean, look at the Call of Duty video games or FIFA. People complain about those every year. Oh, I'm not going to buy it anymore. This was shit. Blah blah blah. Next year, there they are.
They'll buy it.
They will, because you have let's put it this way: the type of quote unquote customer that Disney is going for. They're not going for the people like myself or a culture or Amanda or people like us who it's like our grandparents brought us to the park. Our parents brought us to the park. We brought our nieces and nephews to the park.
The person who waited her whole life to go to the park.
Exactly, to go, and you get there with the park and you're with the nostalgia, and then you have family members telling you things that stay the same, things that are different, but the Disney difference is still there. They don't care about us anymore. They want to bring in that 1% who were just going to pay money and consume product. They don't care about the quality of show. Don't care that the Yeti at Expedition Everest still doesn't freaking work. They don't care about that. They just care that they're just on the ride, riding around. It's great. I'm at Disney World. Let me take some pictures to put on my Instagram and then pay $80 for a freaking dessert party to see the fireworks that used to be for free if all you did was just stake your spot out.
Yep. And that's the problem. And you're 100% right, except that those customers are going away quickly. And as you eliminate the financial availability, you're going to eliminate guests. There are going to be a handful of people. And while that may control your capacity problems, it doesn't do anything to fill up the resort hotels that you spent all that money building. Who's going to go and hang out in that area? Yeah. The 1% don't go to Disney.
Yeah. We pay for you to keep your amusement park open. We buy your merchandise, whether at that store or we buy your Disney Plus. We're the ones who buy your merchandise at other stores. We're the ones who allow you to keep your store open. It's us. the 99 percenters.
Yeah.
We keep you up and running.
And Esh saying
It's a great
says in
point.
the chat, you're not wrong. The normies, but the normies are taking note of the differences in the quality now. It's not just us. Believe me, that people talk about it all the time. We have an example of a story, I think, that we could point to where somebody was frustrated with the amount of money that they spent. And I'm not sure if we were going to talk about that in the stream or not, Lorena, but
yeah, I forgot about that. I did a video on it. The guy, he didn't want to do the temperature check down at downtown Disney Springs. And because he didn't want to do it, and he got disinvited to never come back to the park.
Lorena,
he's like, but
don't
I
you understand?
$15,000.
Exactly. He spent money. He's better than you and I. Don't you understand that?
Yeah, I just think he's better because he spent $15,000 as opposed to, families scraping up, 150 or 200 to go there, for the day. But yeah, it's to the point now where, the Disney nerds, they're kind of like some of us are. Disney nerds, yes, exactly. We'll notice these small changes. And only if you're that meticulous will you notice it. Now the degradation of quality is so bad. It's like Culture was saying, even the normies are like, what the heck is going on here?
Well, when you point out to someone that you have fewer attractions to participate in, there are fewer shows, there are fewer dining options than ever before, unless you go to, of course, the Disney Springs area. In the theme parks, you have a giant reduction in services and quality of show, and that shows up. And in Crispy Critters is right. Nintendo Universal gonna eat them alive.
Oh, especially if they bring Nintendo Land to Epic Universe.
I have to add to this quickly because it's not just, we're at the point now where it's not just like, say, your Disney nerds and your normals going to Disneyland. They're the normies across the board, even watching media now, whether it be streaming TV are starting to see this stuff everywhere. And even they are starting to get turned off by it. So the point that they've gone so far to not offend anyone is that they've reached the point where they're not entertaining anyone anymore either. So they're paying, let's say, $15 for a day at the park to be bored. How many in the chat would want to pay $1,500 a day to be bored? You guys, would you pay that much to be bored?
No, but you're looking at people now paying that kind of money to ride 3 to 5 attractions.
Yes,
that's still bored. What would you do? Would you ride the same 3 attractions? It is. That's boredom. That's literally high. Here's the
waiting in line, Stephen. Even with the quote unquote Fast Pass Plus bologna sausage. You're still waiting in line in interminably long lines. Even the Fast Pass lines are longer than they should be.
So what you're saying is eventually I'm going to be paying $1,500 to play the waiting in line simulator while waiting and to play the Anthem loading screen simulator sponsored by Disney and Rare Software.
Probably.
Oh, I'm down. Sign me up.
That's pretty much it. Because I will say, in contrast, at Universal, where their system is actually a lot better, they have certain rides where you can get into the virtual line to wait on standby, but you're not at Universal all day to maybe only ride 3 rides. It's like great. that doesn't work. Yeah. You have more time to go and do more things. It's not about just riding the rides. For example, like someone brought it up, Wizarding World of Harry Potter. You can walk in there, not ride a single ride, but have plenty to do. If you have an interactive wand, you're going to all of these crazy interactive wand sites, doing the motions and having all of this great interactive stuff happen. You're going in various shops. You're going in one shop where there's a mirror that talks to you while you're shopping for your wizarding robes. You can go in Ollivander's to look for a wand. You can go and get butterbeer from the carts or whatever. You can go in all of these different shops. You can go in one that looks like Diagon Alley. You can go to Dervish and Banges to look for yourself a Death Eater mask, and try not to buy Lucius Malfoy's cane, which I may wind up buying the next time I go to the park.
Death Eater mask. Death Eater mask.
Yes, ride the Hogwarts Express. Exactly. You could ride that sucker back and forth for I don't know how long.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful experience. Every time they understand what they were missing before, and they're now replacing it. They're giving you the immersion that Disney used to give you. Look, guys, between Pandora over at Disney and the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge area, those were supposed to be the Potter Swatters. That's what they were referred to as, the Potter Swatters, to knock down what Universal had stolen away from them. But it didn't do that. First of all, it's not Pandora's fault that they didn't build the third up and back coaster that was part of that original plan.
Right.
You know that, but that expansion area is still there, barely. The Galaxy's Edge did not do what it was supposed to do because they bent the knee to the concept that they have now, which is Black Rock Spire, which is garbage.
Can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
This is something I think even a project culture you and Lorraine would have fun on. What you guys need to do is come up with a chart or a spreadsheet. One column has to be Universal, what they offer in their price, like to get into the park for a day, and then you put Disney beside it with this, and you see the value, and you total it up to see what's actually there to do versus the money amount spent. You need to show that as an online pipe.
I could spend several hours breaking it down, the loss of value that you've had over the last 5 years at Disney versus the increase in value that you're getting at Universal. Because with Universal, you have advanced options if you're staying at one of their hotels, which I recommend. They have what they call it, the Express Pass or something. Like the Super Express Pass, basically, if you're staying at the hotel, that you get into the parks early, which means they preserved their early entry hours, and you also get priority line because you're staying at one of the hotels.
And that's for the premium. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's like with the premium hotel. So for my Mediato Mafia members and higher, that video that I put out comparing the hotels, it's kind of been going in the same direction that Stephen is talking about. So what I tell you is I tell you about the hotels and the perks that you get, like Culture was saying with the early entry, regardless of what category of hotel you stay at Universal property, you get 1 hour entry early into the parks. If you're at one of Universal's 3 premier resorts, you get that front of the line pass included. You can also go and buy it a la carte on your own if you want to, if you're staying at one of the other resorts. But still, they preserve that value where no matter what level you stayed in, like I stayed at the Dockside Inn and Suites the last stay in December, $80 a night hotel. I still got to get into the parks not only an hour early, but when the parks were closed to letting other people in. If you're a resort guest, you got to go in. So regardless of how crowded the park is.
So are we literally watching? Let's put this: the preferable the dead Donald Duck slowly rolling over in the floating water at this point, or is there still chances for them to actually provide more entertainment within the coming months?
A lot of it, well, here's the problem is it's the framing of these articles, right? If you tell a lie enough times, eventually, people will just accept the lie. I mean, that's been happening around us for a very long time now. When it comes to this, it says removing racially insensitive characters, point to one. Because that was a caricature and a funny one. And unless you're a headhunter, I don't know what you were offended about. I mean,
I'm offended that you use headhunter without the right pronouns. I'm going to write a letter.
Now that I think about it, it's interesting because with Trader Sam, you had to acknowledge his hustle. Because there's the common caricature of you go to a foreign country and you got someone trying to hustle to get tourist dollars. And that's exactly what Trader Sam was in the context of him being from Polynesia. So it fit in perfectly.
Yep, and they still want you to go into the shops and buy trinkets that are based around the ride, right? So they really don't realize it, and this is where Disney and many of these large media conglomerates think that you're dumb. Do you know who doesn't think you're dumb? The parent company of Warner, because AT&T is starting to get really angry about stuff like this when it comes to Warner Media. Comcast Universal's like, we're getting more market share. We're going to stay on this path.
Okay. So what? I want to ask then. So they sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please.
No, I was trying to say. So pretty much what they're doing is that's still hypocrisy within a sense. They're removing the visuals. So if it's out of sight, out of mind, they won't see it or complain. But let's still make money off it from the back corner. It's like hiding the poker games, or like let's say when you had prohibition with liquor and you hide it somewhere else. As long as you don't see it, you can still sell it. It's like a front.
Well, they spent Snail Messiah. I want to answer this real quick. They did that already. They took a decade off of doing anything in the parks, for the most part, domestically. They spent all of that money and in the large amount of that investment in China with Shanghai. They had to play catch up when it came. Pandora was something they just absolutely pulled the trigger on out of desperation. And they pretty much let Cameron's partner, and I can't remember his name, Landau? Something like that. Yeah. And Joe worked together to make that thing happen. But they dropped the ball so completely with Star Wars, and they spent so long putting that together. They abandoned the best possible plans. From a second generation Imagineer who had the thing laid out like it was ready to go.
Ready to go. They had plans and everything. And
they slayed it. So and it would have done everything that we wanted as fans by honoring the 3 previous films, which is what everybody knows. I mean, everybody knows the OT. Everybody, whether your opinion on the prequel, your opinion on the sequel wasn't going to matter because everybody knows the story of the OT. Everybody loves the story of the OT. Wouldn't matter if they never made another film after that. That would have been something you could sell forever.
Exactly, because when you sorry, Culture, I was going to say because the whole thing with Star Tours, because one of the big things about Star Tours was how much George appreciated the effort that the Imagineers did to put the original version in California. And he was interviewed profusely about that. Like, he was so appreciative of what Disney did and the Imagineers, how they listened to him and they watched all the movies. And when they put the one in Florida, when you walk up to Star Tours, it's not just a ride. You look like you literally landed in Endor. And when you go through that queue, you feel like you are actually on Endor about to board a shuttle. And once you get off that shuttle, you feel like you walk out into Tatooine. Literally, that's how themed it was. And I remember, I think in 2018, when I walked off of Star Tours, there was a big, huge divider and a placard that said Galaxy's Edge coming soon. So I'm thinking, okay, this is great. It's like, you're on Tatooine. What's the next thing you're thinking of when you're on Tatooine? Mos Eisley Cantina, thinking of Spaceport.
Which was the whole reason they were shutting down the restaurant across the way. They had a lot of things in the hopper, which included getting rid of the Indiana Jones stunt show, because that was going to be the other side of it. And you were going to literally be able to go from place to place. It also would have left the back wedge open, which would have made plenty of space for a brand new recreation of Radiator Springs. They were going to really expand in the Pixar way in the back part of that park, which would have given you even more child-friendly attractions. There's so many ways they dropped the ball. And this was just the latest version. And of course, they destroyed Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, a lot of people would argue that adding Johnny Depp was kind of, the beginning of it, but it happens even before that, in that when they started to change the pirates chasing the ladies around, right? And then they had to switch it because that was offensive. I'm like, that's literally what would have happened, but with a comic spin on it. I mean, you literally are having pillaging and plundering happening all around you on this attraction, right? And conflagration at the end of it. And there's a whimsical song that's going on about this whole thing. They're doing it in a fun way. They're presenting a slice of a caricature of history from that point in time. And then they just started to pull out pieces and make it PC. PC is the death of all culture. Political correctness is not culture. It's anti-culture. It's anti-art. It's anti-expression. Anyway, it is what it is. I can go on forever because this is one of the things I pontificate about. But
it's a mess.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Steve.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much in deep shit is Disney at this point? 10 being the worst.
9.
I would have to say on what level, because there's various piles you could be talking about.
Well, Disney going straight to hell.
Well, they're not helping themselves in any of the piles except for streaming, and streaming's actually stagnated. So it's so much so that they saw the writing on the wall and they said, we're not going to be making any more updates on our streaming offerings as far as subscriptions unless we hit a significant milestone. So chances that you're going to hear anything unless they hit a significant milestone, it could be a while before you hear one, because the churn, the churn hit full overdrive here because they started to lose subs after their 1 year subscription cycle. So, and as some of the Verizon 1 year cycle fell off, so on and so forth. And their international agreements that they made with carrier services, those will start to expire here in the next 6 months. And then through the year after that. So in 18 months, we'll probably know what Disney Plus really looks like as far as a subscriber base. But you have to consider how long it took Netflix to go from the product that they were before they started offering streaming to the product that they became when they started offering streaming to where they are now. Because I can tell you right now, there's no more than 200 million people or 250 million people at any one time on this planet that are going to be paying for premium streaming services. And that's why the smart streaming services are moving over to an AVOD product to be a companion to their strictly pay product, which is, Warner Media is like, oh, crap, we can't do that. Yeah, no kidding. So you'll see an AVOD from them. You will see an AVOD from Disney at one point, and that'll get partnered with probably an upgrade to their current streaming product, which will include more adult things from the Fox catalog and possibly from some of their older stuff that they possibly won't edit. But physical media is more important than ever. So getting back to what you were saying or answering that question, Stieg, I would say that in every single thing, they're probably at an 8 out of 10 of stepped in it. And out of streaming, they're probably about a 6. But we don't know yet, because they're either going to be in third place in the streaming wars or fourth place. And fourth place will be the worst position to be in. They will be the worst position to be in. And that's, you have to consider, they changed their Hulu, they changed their Hulu product to also incorporate Disney and vice versa. So they could up their bundle numbers, so they could up their subscriber counts. There's a lot of shenanigans going on. They don't talk about it.
No.
So, and then you have the outright misrepresentation made by Bob Chapek, which I actually pointed out today when I was going through the Star Wars video, because they released one 2 days ago that because Star Wars had none of the Disney products have been getting updates, as far as social media goes. But the Star Wars YouTube did. So I went on there and gave them my traditional message of the day when they do something. And I pointed out specifically that, Bob Chapek came out and lied. And the reason they can get away with the lie is because they're anti-transparency. Every time there's an opportunity for the stockholders to put something up that requires them to be transparent about where they lean politically because of who they give money to, the slate, the board of directors encourages every single institutional investor to not go that direction, because they don't want to get caught in doing what they've been doing. They've been the dirty shenanigans when it comes to politics, right? They don't want that. And that would, again, that type of transparency would make it impossible for Bob Chapek to present that point of view, which was obviously very disingenuous, if not an outright lie. We'd have to know some of that stuff.
Plus, the other thing is that it used to be that they were putting more money into the parks than in their other services. And now they've switched that. They're not investing as much in the parks. They seem to be chasing streaming. And like Ian had said, Disney Plus was late to the game. Honestly, I don't even really watch it. And I'm actually about to unbundle it, because Hulu is the service that I use the most. Between Hulu and Amazon Prime, I'm pretty much good. And it's getting to the point where it's like, why do I need to pay attention, to Disney Plus? But at the same time, also you have to remember the parks, at least right now, are what's funding, all the other stuff. And the more that they make this crap more homogenized, I'll just run through this a little bit more. So these are the new Jungle Cruise characters, okay, that they're supposed to be doing here. Oh yeah, and besides, they're going to have chimpanzees in the attraction to replace the natives, as if that's something.
So now they're promoting it.
Yeah.
So now they're promoting ape culture instead. The feminists will throw a fit.
They're going full orangutan.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. So they have like all these new characters, because this wasn't how the original one looked like at all. You had like the guides the native guides up the pole, because obviously nobody wants to hang around with the rhino or whatever, but that's how it was before. So now they have this multicultural group here. So here are the people on the rhino pole. So you have this guy named Felix, okay, who recently left his home in Silver Springs, Florida, like we freaking care. So his bad luck followed him to the jungle. I'm not really interested in who this guy is. Then the next one, you have a Dr. Leonard Moss. Apparently, since he's Canadian, that also adds to the diversity. How do you feel about being represented, Steven? You there?
I'm here.
It's like I'm probably bored as heck.
I'm here. I was just...
He's like, yeah, I'm diverse. I don't know how to take this.
I'm diversely not caring about Disney. Oh, he's from Nova Scotia. I'm sorry. Canadian.
You really didn't care, right?
No, I really didn't.
Hey,
You know what, though?
Go ahead.
People are going to complain about this because the white man is at the top.
Oh, they will. They will. So they replace the natives with a white guy at the top. Or it's for $5. Thank you so much, my dear. And I'm glad you're gaming. I think you have a gaming stream tonight. I hope you do. Disney didn't care about the streaming until the beer bug. Dear God, what are they thinking about this stuff? Yeah, that's right. They didn't give a crap about streaming because remember, I want to say when the beer bug had started to pop off and they were like, this is fine, everything is cool. They got asked at the investor meetings, what are you going to do? Because like Netflix and Amazon, they have like this catalog of stuff and they've got new things and new licensing deals and they're constantly putting new stuff on their platform. How are you going to compete with that? And Iger's answer was basically, oh, well, we already have a vast catalog of products that people would be interested in. So there's really no need for us to try to create new content.
The thing that's wrong here is it should say botanist and not botanist because it's Canada by now, right? It's been decriminalized across the board. So at least then people would care, but it's just...
Okay, I'll get back to that in a minute. I'm just trying to answer Orange's question right here. What he's talking about. They didn't care, and then all of a sudden, when the beer bug pops off, then now they're playing catch up. I say, go ahead.
Well, actually, yeah, no, you're right. They actually accelerated the release cycle of all of their products internationally. They were not going to expand. I think Lorena and I have talked about this multiple times. They weren't going to move forward as quickly. I mean, we were paying attention to all the quarterlies prior to all this kicking off, and it was they were just going to roll it out softly and make their international release dates and all of that, and then it just went bananas. So it's been insane. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But they were not going to be as aggressive with their streaming as they ended up having to be, because it was the only thing that was making money because they were kowtowing to the things that they were being told to kowtow to.
Can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. I missed it. How many Canadians are on this ragtag team of no one giving a care? I see there's one from Alberta, one from Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
the one above them is from Alberta. Why are they including Canadians
he's
now?
Not from Alberta. There's a diverse chick in the story called.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, great.
So we have, let's see, we have a Mexican artist. Okay, so we have an artist, and let's see, we have a doctor from Japan. Yeah, I know. I'm tired of checklists. It is. It's like a freaking checklist. Mm-hmm. And we have someone from Ireland.
Okay. His name's Puffin? Really? Puffin. That's their name? Puffin? Oh my God.
It's like,
they forgot one thing, though.
What?
They didn't list the people's sexualities.
Or their pronouns.
Don't worry. They'll do that next now that we've said it.
Exactly. I'm looking at this and I'm just like, when they had this themed with the native guides trying to escape, that made more logical sense than this checkbox crap we got going on here. This ride is done. It's done. This is one of the most popular rides at the Magic Kingdom because of how cheesy it was, and because of, the improv, and because it was never really the same ride twice. The lines for this ride would be insane. I can't see anybody really being interested in this unless you just
It feels like they adapted It's a Small World characters and just gave them names and slapped them onto a new team for this ride. Like they were.
I'm getting discount Jumanji out of this.
So am I.
That's
Look
what
at
I
the
was
rhino.
gonna say.
Look at the rhino. Even's like, why am I here? He looks really angry.
Canadian. It's
Dated by
Canadian that's taking it in the ass end, though. It looks like.
Yeah,
Well,
but
culture.
the
If you
snake
want to
wrapped
ask
around
me
him.
out, you just have to ask offline.
Oh my gosh. But no native guide, exactly
Not
right.
anymore.
So you're gonna go in some foreign place with no native guide. It makes no freaking sense.
Wrong.
That's like trying to go to Everest and you don't have a Sherpa.
Wait, I have a serious question. What is the rhino or the hyena non-binary or transgender? I'm wondering if they're actually going to be putting pronouns on the animals too.
And you know what? This is how we can start to kick them in their own sack, right? What Esh just said. So we absolutely need to start holding them accountable. Like, who do these people want to bounce their genitals off of, right? What are their pronouns? We need in-depth backstories for each one of these completely made up, caricatures of human beings, because that's the important part of the story. We have to be able to see ourselves in these characters. Of course,
I want to know how fast they thrust as well.
But then everybody's, a freaking maroon, because nobody wants to be caught in this position. I doubt anybody would end up in this position. First of all, I'm hiring a native guide. If I want to go scuba diving in a place I've never been, especially if it's a cave dive, you know what I don't do? I don't go there by myself. I go there by somebody who's been there before that can, maybe get me out of there alive. It's just dumb.
And another thing to kind of
hire the native.
Another thing to add to this, like I was watching Indiana Jones, the first movie, right? Okay, so in the opening where he goes to the temple and he's got his guide with him, and when he finally escapes and he gets caught, and it's the other guy, he's just like, you trusted the wrong people. Too bad you didn't speak the language. And he had the natives basically chase after him. Hey, Justin.
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for joining us in the last
Not much. We're just talking about the Jungle Cruise.
There's another problem because the same with John Beck. I agree with that. That whole pole, that wood pole they're climbing, is very misogynistic. I don't see any female representation on that wooden totem that they are climbing right now. I feel very offended.
Oh no, they went with classic female representation. They look at it; it's very 80s with the 5 characters. One must be a female.
And
it feels like Adventures in virtue signaling. That's what it feels like.
It's okay. It's okay though. They're all white, so it's fine.
No, that's wrong. One of them is Mexican and one of them is Japanese.
One's Canadian. One is Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian from Nova Scotia.
Wait. That's still white.
So the only smart person's going to be the chick that we don't see in this particular photo, because. Right. Every other man is a freaking maroon. This is 100% intersectional feminism, third wave feminism garbage. Try to represent the world, or do everything as a character as the ride was originally intended, or just
but maybe the woman, maybe culture, maybe the woman actually just took off and left the other men to suffer. Maybe she just abandoned them, so they're actually playing the fact that you don't need men, just run away. They'll be sacrificed.
Chances are she's probably just holding them hostage with her magic, and they don't want to be there anyway. And
so you mean Scarlet Witch?
Yeah. So at the end, they're going to take them away in handcuffs and not her, despite her bad deeds.
The other question is, which one of those people on the totem is worthy of Captain America's shield?
The girl, obviously. Don't you know? Women in Disney are perfect. So exactly. I don't know why she's in the middle. She should be like Karate Kidding on the top of the pole. How Disney has all females born perfect.
Crane kicking?
Yeah.
Hey, Lady Toriel, if Disney wanted to make people go to Universal instead, they're doing a great job. I know. It's crazy.
It looks so crazy. Bad. It looks like they took it's like I'm watching a 5-man team of Up mixed with Indiana Jones, but with no actual plot or story.
Well, this is just concept art, right? So okay.
Well, it's concept art, but they've already
did I miss something?
Yeah, we kind of started with how they've started making these changes, because they removed Trader Sam to start out with.
Right.
So this is WDW today. So I'm gonna kind of skim up here a little bit.
I want to point out a few of my favorite jungle plants. All right, here we go.
So you notice she's talking about the jungle plants. She's not talking about Trader Sam, because when you get to that point in the cruise, like literally before you get there, the skipper is already saying, okay, guys, you might want to watch out. We got this guy up here who might try to hustle you. And that's when they go up to Trader Sam and they stop the boat so you can see Trader Sam. But
Did they replace him
apparently,
with
Did
a
he
cup?
talk or anything? Because like I've never been on the ride. Did he talk or anything, or did
No.
he just? Okay, because
No.
I was watching this one video and I didn't hear anything from the animatronic. All I heard was the guy go, "By the way, guys, he will give you 2 of his heads if you give him 1 of yours," like from the skipper. And it's like, okay, so this animatronic that wasn't over exaggerated, was just a prop to have a funny joke, that was a non-offensive joke on top of that to anybody, that wasn't over caricaturized, that didn't even have a horrible accent, and that's what they got rid of.
Yeah, what's the animatronics? It's a statue.
I'm out, but I no.
Amanda, all of these animatronics in this attraction are incredibly rudimentary. They don't require anything but like a rotating drive motor. That's it. And there are very few exceptions to that. It's dumb. What they're doing is extra dumb, and it's incredibly infuriating. So
See,
absolutely,
to me,
walking.
See, this is where the problem is. Too many people want to stand up for something that they don't seem to understand what they're standing up for, and assuming that, okay, for an example, let's go Dumbo. They were crows when I was a kid. They never meant anything else but being crows when I was a kid. And until someone threw it in my face, I never saw it. And it's getting kind of sad that everything, they're like, oh no, but if you look at it this way, but why can't we just look at it the way that we did with innocent eyes as kids?
Well, that's the thing, is they want to try to say, well, you were brainwashed by it because this is subtly this way. And you're like, no, I can enjoy this for the superficial awesome that it is. And I don't have to read into it whatever you're reading into it. And it's why Lorena, I think, gets so offended when we talk about the Splash Mountain stuff, because it's based in stories that her family members had probably listened to during the course of their lifetimes. It just drives me insane. But I know we went off for a long time on this.
Yeah, we did. But that's kind of like what it is. They want to use their IPs to replace iconic rides that they have. Not that it's necessarily the problem with replacing it with their IP. The thing is, they want to virtue signal about how great people that they are. Not mention that with Splash Mountain, you're throwing away Black American folk tales that have been told for years. Tales that my grandparents told my parents about. One that I actually had like a book about that had Burr Rabbit stories, knew all of those. Those are the kind of stories that are actually even told in the Caribbean as well. You have an issue with the way that they talk. Okay, understand, you need to update the ride. That's fine. But you don't have to disrespect the culture that was there before.
No,
just
you
so
don't.
you can say, oh, this is how great we are. And they're doing the same thing here. They're thinking, oh, well, you're going to be offended, because of this, native guide. When the fact is, yeah, it's outdated, but it's based in reality. So what I'm going to do here is actually play this clip. Notice how we're going to go from how animated the first skipper was and like the best skipper ever to how this person just barely mentions about Trader Sam. Have a listen to this.
We're going to point out a few of my favorite jungle plants. All right, here we go.
Wow, vegetation.
Wow.
Any questions?
Did you guys all see that jungle lettuce?
You can hear the people who know what's supposed to be there go, no, and start going, nah. Like, you can hear it in the background. Like, you heard this one lady go, like, you heard that.
I'm glad I'm not the only person. Doesn't it sound sad, culture?
It does. And here's the thing. You're going to hear people like me go on this just to boo at every change. You're going to have boats full of people mocking this stuff because they've destroyed it. Think about how many. I've been on this attraction in Florida at least 100 times in my life, maybe more. In California, I can guarantee I've been on it more than 200 times in my lifetime. So it's It's dumb. Who cares about the damn plants? It's not why you went on the thing. You went on there.
Vegans care. Vegans care about jungle lettuce. Let's get that right now, culture. Even the vegans might care about. Well,
even Justin Proper can't defend this.
I don't care about it. Like, it doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like it's that big of an issue. I mean, it really shouldn't be. I don't understand this.
They're taking away an
issue.
No, I know. I just don't understand it in general. Like the entire situation. Like,
okay,
why
it's like taking.
It seems so pointless.
In a way, it is pointless for them to even invest in trying to do this. But it's just like, it's one thing if they just say, hey, we want to update the ride. Okay, fine. But when they're trying to use it, when they're trying to say, "Oh, we're going to do it for cultural sensitivity reasons," it's.
But now that
tells me it's just. Justin, go ahead, Justin. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
No, I was gonna do a comparison for Justin. Justin, a white male invented the corkscrew roller coaster. In fact, all tubular steel roller coasters are based on, a Disney design, which is, they're incredibly racist. They were just terrible people, especially Walt Disney himself, apparently, which is a complete lie. But because of that, you can no longer have, and all roller coasters will now have to be converted to regular wood roller coasters with no inversions at all.
What about whitewood? Or we have to use whitewood, or we can actually use different types of wood across the board, so every tree is included?
Sorry, guys. So hold on one second. Thank you, Brett Cohen, for the $3 Australian super sticker with the Shiba Emu dog. I love that. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Yeah, Black Superwoman has an excellent point. If I can get my mouse down here, no one asked for this to be changed.
True. No, nobody asked.
With that laughter earlier, in that clip. It's people are probably, even people who don't know that that's supposed to be Trader Sam are just laughing because, like, look at all the vegetation. They're like, that's nothing. There's nothing there, and that's really the joke. It's now kind of turned into a joke.
But even if you don't know that something's supposed to be there because you have this flat rock right there. Something's supposed to be there.
I know, and that's why it's a laugh. Like, it gets a laugh now. It's ridiculous.
What bothers me is, why didn't they just put like a sign saying Trader Joe has moved on, he's gone back home, and just left like a gone panhandling or gone trading? Why would they do that?
If they're going to do that, why not just keep him and not change it?
But they don't want to. But at least you could have used something to somewhat put a visual stimulation there in general. They could have at least been some kind of laziness. Yes.
That's not what they would do. They just
would. But I'm saying they don't think that far.
Landward after. Yeah, I mean, it would have been kind of interesting if it would have said, hey, check me out on my website, or Trader Sam is now on Instagram or something like that. But that would actually require something with forethought. But yeah, they don't want to offend people.
Again, though, they don't get where do they come up with going, well, we're doing this so we could be, sensitive about cultures, but you're still going to sell his merchandise. You're still going to have his name up on your the cafe or whatever. You can't have it both ways.
Yes, they can.
Well, hey, what happens if somebody Googles what the original attraction was and they see the amazing, Sam there, and they're like, why did they take this out?
It's kind of like the same thing, like I say, with what happened with, Splash Mountain. If you want to do an update to bring it to more modern time, I can understand that. The issue that I have is Disney acting as if they should get some kind of gold star in the middle of their forehead for doing it. That's where the problem comes from, where you're basically saying, we're such great people. Look, we did X, Y, and Z. Never mind that you trash the fact that the ride was based on African American culture, and you don't acknowledge that. So with the Jungle Cruise, we know it's cheesy. We know parts of it are outdated, but don't make that decision, for us. If you get somebody who's like, are there really headhunters, who sell that? It's just like, come on, it's a joke. There's a kernel of truth to it, but it's pretty much a joke. Sorry, go ahead, Culture.
No, you're right. And if you're a lot of these changes are stemming from this film project, because a lot of these characters are going to be, from that. That's complete crap. Just to fit. It's the same thing they did with Pirates, which they destroyed it. It's like, you don't always you have original IPs. You don't have to destroy it with a bunch of other crap that you add into something that's already successful. because you devalue its history, and anyway, we're over time, so I'm gonna
and I'll just say flat, I don't really wish that they would have just themed this to the Jungle Cruise movie, but apparently that's I guess that's going to be problematic. But anyway, just wanted to have that cool discussion about that particular change, to the ride. To some folks, it may not be that much of a big deal, but I know for me, it's difficult seeing an attraction like that I've grown up going on for years make such a radical change from what it was. It's not like a small update. It's just they're homogenizing everything, and that's kind of disappointing.
I've never been to Universal. I've never been to Disney. I've always wanted to go to both. And the thing is as I see these things change, we're going to put more of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies in it instead of the original Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And I understand updating rides. And I understand, okay, maybe let's say something is offensive. So you change it, but you don't have to signal virtue. Give me my clout for doing it. You really want to be in the forefront of something like that. You don't have to announce it. So change it. But seeing these old things, and then seeing how they're changing it makes me go, never mind, I'll just pass. I'm cool with Kings Island.
Hey, you know what?
Hell yeah.
Universal is literally going to kick their ass because of this dumb stuff. Because they're not doing that. Do you know they have dinosaurs? You know what? Dinosaurs don't care if you are, a pronoun. They don't care if you, fall into whoever you want to bump uglies with.
They don't care about your pronouns. They just want to eat you.
They don't discriminate. It's all food to them.
Well, to be fair though, some dinosaurs are transsexuals.
That's true.
Wow.
And on that note,
boo.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the channel subscriptions. But most of all, thank you for just being there and with all of your on fire comments in the chat. You guys make this show so freaking easy. Please subscribe to all the folks on this panel. I'll have to put their links in the description. Please do. Take care of yourself.
Trader Sam is in the chat.
but only put Justin half a Justin's
Trader Sam. Wait. Trader Sam is in. Where's Trader Sam? Trader Sam is in. Oh God, we gotta clip that. Well, now it all makes sense, doesn't it?
Wait. Where's his umbrella?
Thank you, Brett Cowan, for this second super sticker. Super sticker. Thank you so much. I love the Uber dog. Thank you so much, folks. Take care of yourself. Thanks for dropping into the show. We so appreciate that. Thanks to all my panelists for coming in. Thanks for Justin dropping by. I know it was a little bit
sorry, I was a little late. I was, busy with work and everything. But
no worries. It happens, dude. You have an open invitation to drop onto the panel anytime you want. Yes, Trader Sam. Yes, he does. We miss Trader Sam, but apparently they're keeping him in the bar. They're keeping the bar named after him at Disneyland and over at Disney World Polynesian and a trading post. So I guess I'll probably show up there. So everyone have a wonderful night. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.